Thanks, Paul. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here with us. And as always, thanks for covering us. Greatly appreciate your time and your coverage of our guys in our program. I'll go back to players of the game for last week to start things off. Offensively, we did not have one, but our big playmaker was Bryce Kurtz. Great to see him kind of start to come along. Just really happy for him. Defensively, it was up front, Devin O'Rourke, we thought played one of his better games, since he's been back from injury. And then big playmaker was Cam Mitchell. It was potentially a big play in that game. We obviously didn't get the fumble recovery, but a really good job. And it was great to have him back out there. Special teams wise, it was Adam Stage. Adam's really stepped up here and done really well. 3 touchbacks, 2 extra points, and just been kicking the ball really well. Practice wise, offensively, Jack Kennedy. Defensive wise, Braden Bruss, and special teams wise, Devin Turner. Those 3 guys doing a very, very good job. Looking at the tape, there were a lot of opportunities for us to seize momentum in that game, early, and a lot of self-inflicted wounds offensively, and then defensively. Like I said, that the strip sack, probably gives us a pretty big shot in the arm momentum wise, but was really proud of the way the defense started. And I thought, again, I thought they played, after watching the tape, outside of maybe about 3 plays, maybe some of our better football. We had 6 3-and-outs, held Miami to, 62 passing yards, but and the run game really got skewed on the one play that we really had 4 errors on that play, which is frustrating, but an outstanding effort by Theron to go run the ball carrier down and give us a chance to take another snap. And then, obviously the turnovers in the fourth quarter have been just detrimental. And we've got to get that fixed. We can't continue to, be in a point to win games and give it away. And it's like I said, after the game, it's kind of been our MO. We've played clean. We've won the turnover battle and played pretty well in the kick game. And we didn't do all 3 of those phases to a consistent level yet here over these last 3 weeks. But now getting ready to go on a road and play an outstanding football team. Coach Franklin's team is really humming. They're playing really good football in all 3 phases. There's talent at every position. They're playing as many guys as I can ever remember anybody playing. As far as depth, it's probably the deepest team we've seen, rotating 7+ linemen, 2 dynamic rookie running backs that are awesome to watch. I think Sean, I don't know. I think I recruited Sean back in the 80s. He's been there forever, man. He's I remember when he was at St. X, he's had an unbelievable career, and just really impressed by him. And, they're spreading the ball out to a number of receivers, probably the best tight end group. All 3 guys are really threats, not only in the passing game, but really physical at the point of attack. All their receivers can take it to distance after making a missed tackle, but what jumps out to me is just how, they're playing very physical on defense across the board. Their front 7, has really been outstanding against the run. They've been really, I think they lead the country in pass breakups and to watch the way, they get into their sub package and do some really challenging things on you schematically. And then you couple that with the talent. It's going to be a hard challenge, but one that will be excited for the opportunity. Great stadium in Beaver Stadium in front of one of the best fan bases in the country. I mean, year in and year out, you tip your hat to the Nittany Lion fan base. They're absolutely outstanding. So a lot of work for us to do, but excited to get back into Big Ten play. So any questions that you all may have, I'd love to answer them. Thanks.
Reminder, if you have a question for Coach, please message Athletic Communications in the chat. First question for Steve Greenberg.
Hi, Fitz.
Hi, Steve.
Hi. You won in Dublin. A hell of a moment. Did it feel to you like that's it? We made it through the problems of 2021, and we're going to be okay. And just how big of a setback has September been for you guys, and for you?
Well, for me personally, it's incredibly motivating. That's my job, is to motivate the team and do everything I can to push the right buttons to help the guys be consistent. And, obviously I haven't done that well enough for us to win games. And so that's That's incredibly motivating for me personally. Thank you for asking, by the way. But for the team, yeah, you got to use the frustration as motivation. I mean, I talked to him again about why, you had two fourth quarter turnovers, in a 1-score game. You can't do that. You can't have a breakdown at the end of the game in our run fits and expect to win a 1-score game. Now, we had ample opportunities early in all 3 of those games to seize momentum, and we haven't. And that's something we've got to continue to stress just keep grinding. I really like this group of guys. I think they've got a confidence about them. I know it's been maybe taking some body shots here, but it's a confidence about them that if we keep working, we're going to improve. If we improve, we're going to win. And that's something that's kind of been the hallmark of my tenure here. Our guys have continued, the teams that have continued to grind and work hard have improved. And, we've gotten better as the season's gone along, but there'll be no flinch. There'll be no anything besides right down the middle, going at it and attacking every day with everything that we possibly have to win football games. And we've lost 3 tough games that have been 1 score. And we haven't played a clean game in 3 games. And that's something that's our job and our responsibility collectively. And it starts and ends with me. And that's what we're working to get fixed.
I want to follow up. It's also big picture, but thinking back to 2013, 2014, a couple of losing seasons in a row, came back with what's probably the best 4 years in school history, football. I'm sure that was hard to do. Is this going to be as hard to pull off as that? And does it feel doable as you stand there, right now?
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely. Yeah. We got 2/3 of our season left. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's no doubt. I have full belief in these guys. I mean, it's one of those where they're coming and we got to take what we're doing. We have had 6 really good practices, Tuesday, Wednesday, which are our heavy work days the last 3 weeks. And I've got to get that to get in the arena consistently. That's my responsibility. But absolutely 100%, I expect us to compete for championships. And you got to do the things that winners do, though. There's no magical, I've told the team now, there's no magic that happens. You've got to execute. You've got to just do your job. We've got to win the turnover battle. We're built for that. That's how we're built. That's how we've won. It's nothing secret about that. Everybody's covered us for a long time. It's not like we're winning games 100-2. We win a lot of 1-score games. There's going to be no back down, no flinch by anybody here. And, we've got to play cleaner, and we've got to coach our guys to play cleaner. And that's all 3 phases.
John Riker.
Hey, Coach. John Ricker, Delhi Northwestern. How did you see your team's leaders and captains kind of take control and set the tone in today's practice after Saturday?
Yeah, John, it's one of those where early in the week, you're like today in particular for us, it's a lot of corrections from the game, and then an early snapshot, and then a lot of base stuff and in all 3 phases and a lot of fundamental work. So that's kind of a day like today. And there's a lot of fixing it, right? Making, we wish we had this call back as coaches, made that adjustment. We fessed that to the guys, and, we expect them to kind of do the same thing about, maybe why some decisions were made, what happened fundamentally, where was your focus, where was the communication, all those things. For us, that's a Monday because we're a Sunday off routine team. So that's kind of typical for our weekly routine. So I'm not as concerned about that. I want to see how we respond to the coaching. I want to see how we respond. I thought the guys were great today. It's just, nobody wants to be where we're at, but at the same time, we're still 1-0 in the Big Ten. So, can't take that away from us right now. So we got to build off of that. And, we got a huge challenge this week against an outstanding team.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet, John. Thank you.
John Vogt.
Yeah, hi, Coach. Offensive line allowed 0 sacks again this week, 2nd time this season that's happened. What are you seeing from them right now? What are you liking about the way they're playing?
3 Johns in a row. We got a theme going here. I like it. No, just joking. Yeah, they're playing great. They're playing great in the pass game. Ryan's doing a really good job getting the ball out of his hands. We've got to just be a little bit more efficient in the pass game. There are a couple plays you all saw we're just a little bit off, and it's kind of that's killing our momentum a little bit in the pass game. We got to take care of the ball after we catch it. We can't have those issues. Period. End of discussion. But O-line wise, from a protection standpoint, and we had a little bit of adjustment and some of the things that we saw Saturday offensively up there. And I thought our veteran guys handled that really well. I thought Kurt did a good job, Coach Anderson. I mean, adjusting that great.
Bradley Locker.
Hey, Coach, Bradley Locker with Inside NU. I know on Saturday you had mentioned to the new students in the blackout not to give up on you guys just yet. I'm just curious what type of message you would want to send to the maybe longstanding Northwestern fans who may be growing a little bit alarmed based on the recent stretch of games and also just factoring in how last year went for you guys.
Well, I mean, I would say, there's a reason why we're all proud Northwestern fans. It's win or lose, rain or snow, sunshine, 89 degrees or -4. Shoot, I'm not changing. So, I mean, you just got to just stay the course, man. I mean, we were talking earlier. I mean, we had 2 tough years and we had the best stretch. I mean, man, if I rode that roller coaster, I would be completely gray right now. Like it would be like Louis's beard, I could see it. You're right in front of me, Lou. I mean, come on, man. Like, let's go. We got a lot of work to do and we need our fans to do it with us. And, it's not easy to win college football games. And you can't be too high when you're winning and too low when you're going through a little struggle. And no 2 teams and no 2 games are the same. We just got to, this team is totally different than last year's team. I know we're not off to the record that we want to be at right now, but this group's got, they're working their tails off. We've just got to execute and play better and adjust better in game collectively as a team and stick together. And I hope those fair weather fans that get just so mad, when we don't win 100-0. I mean, just stay with us, stay proud. That's Lou's job though. Louis, that's your job. It's all your guys. I know you'll do an excellent job. You're Mr. Captain Positivity.
Lawrence Price.
Hey, Coach, Lawrence Price, Daily Northwestern. You talked about what you liked from the defense early on in the contest Saturday. Can you talk more about the linebacker, specifically Xander Mueller, and what you've seen from him or his development this season?
Yeah, just continuing to grow. First year starter, and there's just a lot of experiences that are happening at the speed of light for Xander right now. He's made a handful of really important plays for us, momentum wise, but it'll just be a continual progression, I think, upward for him. Fundamentally with his eyes, physicality, all those things. I'm really, really pleased with, his initial start here, and I just can't wait to watch his career progress. It's going to be a great player for us.
Steve Greenberg.
Pat, trying to get a sense of like the gap between this is broad, but a successful Northwestern team and an unsuccessful one, a winning one and a losing one. Is it not that big? In other words, are you kind of always on the razor's edge at Northwestern, where when you're winning those 1-score games, it's super tight and it could break bad if you don't have these certain qualities you're bringing every week? Yeah,
I mean, I think just in college football in general, again, staying kind of with your theme about being macro, I just think it's, every game has its own, 60-minute identity. And, when you're in a lot of close games, there's certain things you have to do to win, right? I mean, you have to be able to win the turnover ratio. You've got to be able to win the fourth quarter, which means you got to get the game there. And then ultimately, you got to have really, I think you got to have just a great resolve about you, because it's going to be the hard fought game. And we've been in a ton of them. I mean, over my 17 years, it's not like I'm like, hey guys, it's start of the week. Listen, I want to go to the fourth quarter, like up a score, down a score, be good for TV, be good for the fans to be entertained. And then we'll find a way to win it in the last 3 minutes. I wish I had that kind of power. It just seems to be the way, we're usually playing really tough, gritty, physical football. It's no secret that we want it, and we're built to win the line of scrimmage. That's kind of how we've been built. And, then we're able to make some big plays on both sides and in the kick game when they present themselves. And, when we're kind of a little bit off, that's when some things go awry. And, last year we had obviously, multiple quarterbacks. It was a different situation than we're at right now, if that makes sense. I mean, that's why it's hard for me. Like, I know we compare teams, but I don't, because they're all very, very, I mean, I've had 17 different squads, if that makes sense. I mean, they're just totally different teams. And, you try to make sure you push the right buttons to, in my role, give them great plans, to give them great motivation. But more importantly, to help those guys to know, and they know how I feel. I have great confidence and belief in this group. They know that's how we feel collectively. And we've just got to play cleaner and stick together. And like I said, we got 2/3 of our season left, and, it's going to be huge challenges, but that's why you come here, you get excited about it and you go attack it. But I really, really like this group of guys.
Louis Vicaire.
Hey, Coach. Happy Monday. It's Mr. Positive. But I'm going to ask a question on behalf of the fans. Obviously, my message boards have been a hostile place the last few weeks, and it's not only the results on the field, but it's they see what happens on the field, and then they hear you talk about a lot of the same things, yet the results don't change. So, what can you say to them to give them confidence, going into Big Ten play for your team, but also that, you're the guy that has the answers that can turn it around?
Well, first of all, I would say I appreciate their support and their passion for Wildcat football. I'm sorry that you have to live in a hostile environment, but I apologize for that, making your life that way. My answers are pretty simple. This game's pretty simple. You got to fundamentally execute. That's number one. And we've got to just continue to have that happen. Okay. When we've done that, we've won. Like, there were some things that in the opener that we needed to, work on. And, I thought we've been diligent on some of those things, and we've seen the result of that. We've got to take care of the ball. I mean, that's not anything magical and win the turnover ratio. It's a totally different game. If we recover the 2 fumbles, we had an opportunity for a block punt. We miss it. They get there. You know what I mean? Like, there's those little plays that are momentum opportunities that, we've got to make. And then, lastly, I think the resolve of this team, I really like how the guys are working to continue to work hard to get better. And so that's my job, is to continue to motivate them to continue to do that. And then, just keep having our first year experience guys, just keep improving. I mean, we've got a little bit more experience on offense. We got to be more consistent there, obviously. We all see that. We've got to make more explosive plays. But we just got to keep the guys that are gaining experience, keep them getting better.
All right.
I don't know if that's what they want to hear, but that's what I'm going to do. So, but
Thanks. Appreciate it.
yeah, you bet. You bet. I'm sorry I don't read it, but you can text me.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, everybody have an awesome day. Appreciate everybody, and thanks a lot. Go Cats.
How's it going?
All right. We'll go right into questions for Devin O'Rourke. Once again, if you have a question, go ahead and message Athletic Communications in the chat. First question for John Volk.
Yeah, hi Devin. First career sack for you this week. Can you just take us through that moment and, after so many years, what that felt like for you on the field?
Felt good. It has a lot to do with the training staff and the strength staff and all that, and the coaches get me back on the field. So I appreciate all that, and it was great for that finally come to fruition.
John Riker.
Hey, Devin, John Riker, Daily Northwestern. Obviously this season, having that huge win to start off against Nebraska and then the September games didn't go your guys' way. Is there a level of excitement that you're feeling this week, being able to jump back into Big Ten play after that early success earlier in the season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's good to see the team like knowing where we're at, but staying positive, because we need to stay positive and still leaning on each other, staying together. Yeah.
Thank you.
Louis Vicaire.
Hey, Devin, Louis Vicaire, Wildcat Report. Fitz seemed very positive, very upbeat today, as he always is, but he talked a lot about, the locker room, the attitude there. There's a lot of confidence. It's staying positive. Where does that confidence come from? Obviously you just lost 3 straight non-conference games. You're going into Penn State. Now it's the heavy Big Ten schedule. Where does that confidence and belief come from?
That confidence comes with the work that we put in every week and looking at our mistakes that we do make and knowing that we can fix it and it's on us to fix it. So knowing that we can do that and it's in our control, that we can have the confidence to go and play Big Ten football.
Thank you.
John Vogt.
Hi again, Devin. You've been around the program for a while, seen some historic faces on the defensive line, Joe Gaziano, Ernest Brown, others. Now that you're kind of in that veteran leadership role, what has having been around those guys helped you kind of take that leadership role this season?
They kind of set the blueprint. There were some great leaders, and we went to 2 Big Ten championships with them. So it's been everything, being able to learn underneath them. And yeah.
All right. Thank you, Devin.
You.